Hello and welcome to Black Bear Atheist. As a kid, I've always wanted to be like a strong guy. So naturally, the character in the Bible I want to be like was Samson. Yeah, that guy. He was an interesting character. Looking at the story again now, I don't know why I liked him or why I thought this is a good story to begin with. But as a kid, you believe whatever they tell you. When you read the Bible, you see it through that lens. Or the story is fucked up. Not only fucked up, it's stupid and it doesn't make any sense. Today we're watching Bible in a nutshell. As much as I don't like their animation, AI animation, I wouldn't even call it their animation. Anyways, it's another story for another day. They're gonna narrate the story of Samson, and I'm gonna point out every little detail that I could or that I find very weird in their 2 minute story. Let's get into the video.
A long time ago in Israel, when the Philistines ruled, a special boy named Samson was born to a woman who had never been able to have children. An angel had come to her and told her that she would have a son. The angel said Samson would be a Nazirite, which means he was dedicated to God from birth. He had one rule: never cut his hair, because his long hair was the secret behind his incredible strength. As Sam
Great narration. I guess this is for the kids. The context of this is that God is punishing the Israelites. That's why they're under the cruel rule of the Philistines. This is God's punishment. I don't know why they try to paint this as if um the Philistines just came from nowhere and took over the land. No, this is God using the Philistines to punish the Israelites. Why are we not pointing to the guy that actually caused it all? And all because they were sinful. And it never made sense. This is a recurring theme in the entire Bible. How people can continually be sinful when they have a divine God that clearly is showing up every 2 seconds and showing them, I exist. Not only that, I could fuck up your life. How can people continue to be sinful? Now, I know what humans are, we are one of the smartest animal that there is in intelligence level. But let's be realistic. Not all of us are geniuses. Not all of us are always smart. We have our ups and downs. I get that. But we're not this dumb. We're just not. I guess point number one. Part one, that doesn't make any sense in this entire story. Humans are not that dumb to keep recurring the same thing when they know they're gonna get punished and put under slavery in a terrible sense. We're not gonna keep doing the same thing. We actually learn. But it would make more sense if there was no God to begin with. And these were people that were just living their life and continue to do things that the people that wants to control them thinks is making it hard for them to be controlled. Because let's face it, religion is just another tool for people to be, for the mass to get controlled, to control the mass more easily.
Samson grew up, he became famous for his super strength. One of his first amazing feats was fighting a big, scary lion with his bare hands. He tore it apart just like tearing a piece of paper. Everyone who heard about this was amazed.
He wasn't that young. I don't believe he was that young. That looks like a 14-year old. No, he was about to get married. I think he was a bit older.
This showed everyone that he had a special power from God. Samson's life
Wrong. Again, nobody knew that he killed a lion. It's like they never read the Bible. Nobody knew he killed a lion. That was part of the next phase in the entire story, that nobody knew he actually killed a lion or anything.
was full of adventures and some tough times. He
I'm sorry, also, how did you go from a teenager to a grown ass man?
often found himself battling against the Philistines, who were being really mean to the people of Israel.
No, no, no. Again, the Bible never said anything about this. He never even say anything about there was a fight between the Israelites and the Philistines, or that Samson was taking part in a war. The storyline never followed this. But you have to spice it up some way because none of it makes sense. The things that he's about to say next doesn't make any sense. And they know that. There's a reason why they narrate this story to little kids like this. Because little kids will ask questions. They don't have any filters. They will ask questions that is bugging them until they get shut down and the curiosity gets shut down. But at the beginning, they ask a lot of questions that the parents don't have answers to. So they narrate it in the stupidest way that there is, that the Bible doesn't even support. But okay.
The Israelites. In one incredible fight, Samson was so angry that he picked up a jawbone of a donkey and used it to defeat 1,000 soldiers of the Philistine army. His strength was
The jawbone of a donkey or an entire donkey. I guess I will give you a little context here. So Samson saw a Philistine woman and he said, "Yes, I need to marry this woman." And his parent, were like, "No, maybe don't do that." But the text literally said God has a plan for why he needs to do this. He needs a plan, uh, he needs this to happen so he can, hear me out, he can have a reason to fight the Philistines. It doesn't make sense, people. So he got the wife and he gave the Philistines a riddle about the lion that he killed. He was quite, I guess, again, I guess he's a proud character. He was quite confident that nobody would guess this in 7 days. But because the Philistines threatened to kill his wife and the entire family, they forced his wife to, after a battle Samson, to give her the answer, to save her life and her entire family. So she gave the answer to them, and Samson, because the bet was some clothes, 30 something of clothes. I'm not sure what I quantify today, what that is worth. But it's supposed to be 30 something of clothes. Because obviously Samson is poor. I don't know what the fuck he's been doing with his strength. He's a poor man. And he had to kill other Philistines that had nothing to do with his bet or anything. And then steal their clothes. Why he would do this? The Spirit of the Lord led him to do this. The Spirit of the Lord, again, showing up, led him to do this stupidity. And then when he got home, in the next chapter, 15, chapter 15 of Judges, his father would, I don't know why his father would do this, he gave his wife to somebody else. If there were slaves, again, like I said before, it's a recurring theme that the entire story doesn't make sense. If they were sold to slavery, how does the father somehow have the right to give off a Philistine woman to somebody else? And how can they even marry a Philistine? But you gotta make the story sounds nice in some way to say they were not really that oppressed, God was still with them, blah blah blah. Anyways, he got mad at his dad. No, the Bible never said he got mad at his dad. He just got mad and tied up 300 foxes in pairs, light them up, and let it light up grains. How much people this affect? The Bible wasn't clear. It wasn't clear because um I guess that wasn't important to the storyline. Now, What amazed me out of all this, the genocide is. Can you even call it genocide? I mean, I guess in my account for genocide, because this is all grand plan of God to take out the Philistines, I guess. All that is no surprise, because God did flood the entire planet. What was quite interesting is that he's known for his strength, Samson, that is. And somehow, where did he got a super speed to catch 300 foxes? Did he set traps? Because if he did set traps, like to catch that much and have them run around and they're not hurt, like how, how did that happen? I guess that's another unrealistic, unsupported BS side of the story of Samson. The question that never got answered. Did Samson all of a sudden become Flash and is fast enough to find 300 foxes and then light them up? Let's keep going with this stupid story. Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you guys why he's killing 1,000 people. So the Philistines, in response to this, kill his wife, no longer his wife actually, because his father did, give her up to somebody else. Killed his wife and his family, like, his wife and his family, like his wife's family, like they planned to do before if he didn't get the riddle. And then he got mad at that and killed 1,000 people. And I'm gonna just show you a little clip of not just this actual clip from the movie Victor and Samson. I've watched two of those. I actually did enjoy them then. Now that I'm seeing them again, look at these clips. They're literally terrible. Here's a clip. As you can clearly see, this is unrealistic. He cannot even survive that fight unless God made him immortal, which isn't one of the attributes. It was just strength. I know, maybe I'm getting a little bit ticked off on the details, but if you're giving a guy just strength, you can't make him immortal. Someone must have stabbed him. Or did he got some healing abilities that we didn't know? Or is that not even important to the storyline? I need more details. Anyways, that's half part of Samson's story. Let's continue.
Unbelievable, and everyone knew it was a gift from God. But Samson had a big problem that he didn't see coming. He fell deeply in love with a woman named Delilah. The Philistines
Well, that's a good way to put it because it's a child story. She's a prostitute. Samson seems to have woman problem. He can't keep his what in his pants. I guess he has the weakness after all. He's super fast, immortal, and strong, but his weakness is that he can't keep his stuff in his pants. Wow. What a shocker. Isn't that like the weakness to all the men God apparently chooses from birth?
found out and used Delilah to trick Samson. They wanted to know the secret behind his strength. Delilah tried many times to find out, and finally, Samson told her about his hair. He said that if his hair was ever cut, he would lose his strength. One night,
Another example of humans are not this stupid, so Samson's story is just entirely unrealistic. He gave her, I think, three answers before he gave her the right one, or just two. However, every time he gave the answer to her, tricking her, she calls in the Philistines. They come in, try what she told them, which he told her. They failed. He killed them and sent them away. Every time. Why would you then go and tell her your weakness after you see that she's trying to clearly betray you? And how can you not learn any lesson from the first woman that also betrayed you. Yes, she tried to save her family, but you clearly see that the Philistines have enough influence to do things like that. Again, humans are not this dumb. Yes, we do stupid things sometimes, but we're not this dumb. The story is unrealistic. So he told the prostitute Delilah his weakness, and obviously the Philistines took this and went with it.
While Samson was
Also, lastly, why would the Philistines continue to come again? Humans are not dumb. Why would the Philistines keep coming again when Delilah gave them the wrong answer like 3 times? And how in the world are they trusting a prostitute? Oh my goodness. Both sides it doesn't make any sense. Let's finish the story.
sleeping, Delilah had his hair cut off by a Philistine. When he woke up, he was weak. The Philistines captured him easily. They were harsh and brutal to him. They made him blind and locked him away in prison. It was the saddest part of Samson's life. But in jail, Samson's hair started to grow back, and along with it, his strength was returning. In his final heroic moment, Samson was in a temple filled with Philistines. He prayed to God for strength one last time. With all his might, he pushed against the temple's huge pillars. The temple crashed down, destroying his enemies and himself too. Samson's life.
By the way, that was his prayer. You see how stupid Samson is? Not just Samson, everyone in this story. So they took this guy, they knew his weakness was his hair. They saw that his hair was growing back. And they didn't take the time to make him go bald again. Again, once again, you see that this is just stupid. Not only that, they brought him to their pillar. Not only that, he asked someone to direct him to the pillar. And they just did that. And now to Samson's dumb side. He asked God to give back his strength and then kill him. So he can also commit suicide. This entire story doesn't make any sense. He would not have asked for something like that. No one would ask for something like that. Something so stupid. And all this was part of God's divine plan. It's finished if there's anything even left to say.
Serves as a powerful lesson on the consequences of our choices and the unfailing strength of God.
Uh, Consequences of our action? He has no free will. Which action? The one that God made him literally? The one that God gave him the strength? The one that God was the one that led him to marry someone, a Philistine, for his grand purpose? The one that God is the one that led him to kill a bunch of people? Huh? Which which free will? It's not like God wasn't aware that Delilah was, in the future, and Delilah was going to do what is she's going to do. Why didn't God warn Samson? Was that really Samson's choice? Or did he add free will 50% and he didn't have free will 50%? So is, as a result, guilty of all charges. What a dumb story. And it doesn't actually, no. I almost said it doesn't get dumber than this. It does get dumber than this. That's the worst part. The stories do get worse. Jeez. So many people dead. All for God's grand plan. Grand plan. And guess what? They're not even out of bondage. Innocent Philistines' life taken. You want to punish the Israelites, so you bring in the Philistines and say, let me kill some of them. Why? Why? They're not turning from their gods to your God, to you, if that was even God's plan. They're not turning to Yahweh. It's just killing them for no reason. That's enough Bible story for right now. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, and have a lovely day, people.